wrong. Gosh dang it. Oh man. And counted on me to do the wrong thing. Yes, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond screen. I need to get rid of that since I'm done with that series. But welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome back to the Silver Dollar City recreation. It has been ages since we have revisited this project, and I'm ready to get back into it. I was watching some old videos of me teasing this for a while, so I decided, and it got me kind of hyped up, like, man, I should get back into this series, and because I wanted to stream tonight, and I was kind of like, what should I stream tonight? And, you know, why not bring back something that people love and something I haven't done in ages, mostly because it was the off season for the longest time, but I don't have that excuse anymore. I don't have that excuse. Now we can get back into things and hopefully start making some good progress again. You know, if I pursue and really work hard, maybe we can get this done. Yes, I do love horror video games, horror movies, big time. Yes, big time. Now I'm assuming, Jacob, you have watched. Did you watch Doctor Strange already? I think you said you were seeing it, so. I love Doctor Strange too. I knew it was gonna be a lot darker, and I have heard about that it was gonna be a little more horrific. That is all. Yeah, don't say anything because I won't be able to see it till Monday, unfortunately. So that is when that's when I get my that's what my tickets are for. I have my tickets already, but it's not gonna be until Monday. I actually could have gotten tickets for tonight, but I decided to wait and go with some other friends. So that's what ended up happening there. Like I said, I definitely wanted to watch it tonight, and I would have preferred to, but there were still tickets available when I was buying tickets for tonight, but I did decide it to wait. My gosh, goriest, and lucky it didn't get an rated R. Interesting. This is interesting. Yeah, I almost forgot that I set these buildings on fire. I almost forgot about that. But anyways, welcome back to Silver Dollar City. Now there's been some structures being built that, let me make sure I have enough space for this. I think I do, but I'm going to have to expand everything back this way. Let me move this recreation here of Fireman's Landing. I was kind of referencing that a little bit. That's why that was there. But I think I'm going to build it myself. But let's see. Flatten. Let's go ahead and go pretty big right here. There's definitely something we have to add back behind Fireman's Landing. Back here, because there's been some activities going on back here. Very, very interesting activities. So I figured it would be fitting that we start a little bit on those activities that are going on back here. You know. Let's turn on the sound here, so we can hear a lot of that custom audio too. We don't want to miss out on all that stuff, do we? Alright, so I actually took some pictures of this, but as early as yesterday, you may have seen on the Discord, if you haven't seen the Discord, but I have some photos of this structure that's going up that is right back here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 total of those. Okay. I don't know what the best pieces would be for this, but we're not gonna go too detailed because obviously it's gonna change over time. But let's get into it. I would think I'm gonna go with actually the in-game pieces, because these are some really thick pieces here. Okay, and I think if you type iron, it comes up. These ones, yes. I figured this would be the best thing to use, just make them kind of a dark gray. Kind of along those sides, kind of like that. And we're gonna build this structure over here, or get started to build this structure. Because if you've been around SDC the last few weeks, you'll notice that there's a big structure finally being constructed back here. Some kind of know what this structure's for. Some might not. Why? This issue has been... I know the game hasn't been updated, but like, why is this issue becoming more and more of an issue? Like, I have never seen it do this before. Why is that not right? They're oriented the exact same way. There's no reason that should be doing that. That is what? Let me turn this on, I guess. Didn't think I would need to. But I guess I do. It's still doing it. Why is this doing that? Jeez, that is weird. Alright, let's get this up. Is that tall enough? I'd say maybe one more. The structure is fairly tall for what it is. Please don't... How does this orientation make any sense whatsoever? That is very bad. Like, they're all rotated the same way. There's no reason this should be... How is that the relative... What? What is this game doing right now? Why is it all messed up? Why is the orientation stuff all messed up right now? Why can't I move these in a straight line? Why is it diagonal? That is bizarre. I mean, luckily the world axes are, looks like they're straightened. Ay. That's frustrating. It's just kind of frustrating. That makes no sense. I don't want to spend too much time on this, obviously, so we're gonna... All the dinosaurs? What are you talking about, Phil? Dinosaurs. Playing Jurassic Park. I could play Jurassic Park Evolution. Is that what you want, Phil? Alright, let's move you to the side. This might actually be too drawn out. What it actually is, but... So, in fact, we're going to move these just a bit closer to each other. How did this happen? How? I'll fix it after I get this. Is there any more news? It's being built. Here's your news right now. Here's your news right here. What I'm doing right now. This is your update. Why is one piece? Oh my goodness! I'm going to murder this game if it keeps doing that. How is this all of a sudden an issue? This game hasn't been updated in years. Where is it? Where on earth is it coming up with that? Alright, this is just, we're just gonna go level 1 here. Level 1. Honestly, that might actually be too angled right there. That might actually be too much. Very, very lightly here. Very, very lightly. Anyone told me I looked like a mix of Keanu Reeves and Jesus? Yes, you have. Many times. I am getting really behind. Well, I guess I'm not that much. Does your train run at the same speed everywhere, or does it vary? I mean, it does vary. What the heck are you doing? I mean, they can change speeds, so. If you're talking about the steam train, I mean any ride kind of varies, but you know, pretty much everything varies. Lots of contributing factors, I suppose. Anyways, this is your update. When am I gonna build Ninja? Well, as soon as I get a Six Flags St. Louis recreation or Magic Mountain. You know, it just depends on which Ninja you're talking about, Phil, and we'll get right on that. How are they going to build the supports if there are no footers currently in the new fire? They're building the building right now. And I don't know if they might already have footers down there. You can't really see because of the fence that's up. And I don't know if it's going to use footers or not. It could kind of vary. Who knows? We don't really know. Yeah, the structure is pretty big. Like, it's not taller than Firefall. It's a little bit shorter than Firefall, which is 80 feet. So I'm guessing it's probably close to around the 60-foot range on how tall this building is. The structure, anyways. If it were Frybread, it won't even fit there, Phil. Manufacturer, from what I've heard, it's going to be RMC. That is the either RMC or Gerslar, but it sounds like RMC is sounding more likely than anything right now. As weird as that sounds. That is probably too small, but see, the things connecting these are actually really small. Won't fit with that attitude. I don't want to make it fit. I'm not doing that. Do you think there'll be a drop track? I'm not entirely sure. I really want there to be, and early rumors said there would be, but it almost sounds like they're going to try and keep it as close to the original as possible with modern updates. That's kind of how it sounds like it's going, so I don't know if they would include one in there. I would love for their one to be there. For sure. And they may just not be... I've gotten to the footers yet, you know? When are we getting Spider-Man 4 with Toby? I don't know, but I want it. He said he's up for it. Anything. Sam Raimi says he's up for anything. And so, yeah, I'm waiting on it. Make it happen, Sony. Why is nothing lined up? I'm so over that. I don't really care too much. We're not gonna stress too much on it. We're just gonna get this together. Can't wait to see what the burning town is gonna look like with the new. What the burning town is gonna look like with the new fire. Oh yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it will look pretty solid. Hope they do a good job on it. But who knows? I hope the theming's top notch. I hope they like one up the old one. I did see the Moonlight finale. When do we find out? They typically announce it. They usually tell us about an hour or 2 hours before the official announcement. And that's about it. And yes, the new location actually does make a lot of sense because it ties in. The theming between Fire in the Hole and Fireman's Landing actually tie in together. Because they actually do go together. So they do kind of match. The theming does make sense. Location-wise. Will it be part of Fireman's Landing? I don't think so. I think it's going to be kind of its own thing just right by it. Because I mean, it doesn't really go into that area. It doesn't really match that area, if you ask me. I mean, I get why it would be by it, but I don't think it would go in the area. Why did that not change? Why is this not where I had it? What the heck just happened? Why is this now up here? I didn't undo anything. What the heck? Bro. It doesn't have to be perfect. Because this probably won't stand. This is just me making it look more up to date, so that's all I'm doing. I can guarantee this is probably not going to match up because it's probably at a weird angle because it likes to do that. Let's see, going back behind, it's probably pretty close. Yeah, because you can see it like kind of rising behind Fireman's, which is pretty cool. Hope it has better maintenance than the original. I mean, the original maintenance isn't bad. It's just gotten old and outdated at this point, so it's kind of, you know. Since the train is right next to the new building, do you think that the queue line will go over the tracks or in front of the entrance? Be past? I think it's going to have its own new area here, like a new path that's going to lead back over here. We could potentially see the path that ends right here continue and wrap around here, and they could put another crossing there. I could see that. There's a couple possibilities on how this will work. It'll either connect beyond, because there's a dead end right here that has a train crossing right here, but it's backstage. So they could continue that and build that going around the front here. Or they could use their already path that they already have made that also has a crossing that leads back over here, and they could potentially connect the dead end at Expo and have it go into this, because that dead end at Expo leads to Pumpkin Plaza, and Pumpkin Plaza is connected to this construction site. So like they could connect it that way too, to where you have there, and then you could have the pathway open at all times, because they already made a crossing there as well for the railroad, so, or for the train, so good work. Train crew doesn't really like crossings. Yeah, if it was me, I would build a bridge going over it, or somehow going under. One of the two. It would make more sense to me. I like to have another crossing. You already have one that you have to monitor, and then you'd have to staff that crossing as well, so it would kind of suck. The fact that they are probably just gonna put a wood fence blocking the road and ruin our immersion. I don't know what the plans are with that. If they do have a drop track, the perfect place for it would be the bridge. That's what I was thinking, like the bridge collapses as you fall. I think that would actually be really, really cool. I did see the pump control getting bigger. Did they expand that already? Because, yeah, you have the trail that leads back this way, and it leads back to this area. And, again, this area is connected with this construction site. So, they could have the entrance on this side. I don't know what the front of the building's going to be, because right now, again, it's just kind of a skeleton structure at this point. But, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's definitely not shaped the same way as the original Fire in the Hole, so how much of the layout's going to remain the same? I heard they're going to try and keep a splashdown at the end. I did hear about that. There have been a few instances where the train gets a bit close to hitting the fence when it was left shut. This is the frame for Fire in the Hole. I just got there. Yeah, basically, yeah, this is basically what they got done on site right now. They went vertical a few weeks ago, and actually they just started on the second half of the building. That I actually did more than what I should have, because the skeleton for the roof isn't done yet. They only got about half of it done. I did post in the Discord a picture of the current progress and that was taken yesterday. So, probably didn't really do anything today, because, well, the weather's been kind of crappy, so. Should be coming back in SDC in August. Will original still be open? Yeah, it will still be open. It's going to be open the whole season. It probably won't close. Basically what's probably going to happen is that original Fire in the Hole will close at the end of the season. It will make it all the way through the end of the season, and then the start of next season, the new one will be open. So, that's probably what's going to happen. I've also heard rumors of passing of the torch where both of them are going to be open at some point at the same time, and I don't understand why that would be a thing. I don't think we have the staff to do that, but okay. Yeah, they have like they are kind of propped up with, like, some of the lifts are actually pressed up against the frame right now. So I mean, I couldn't tell you what it's gonna be like at all. I don't have that information. Okay. Went to SDC about a week ago and asked what the new building. I said the new Fire in the Hole. My dad got pretty sad after we read Fire in the Hole about 20 times that day. And get your rides in if you want to ride the original. Did you copy and paste Fireman's Landing way over there? No, I didn't. Actually, this is, I believe, Darren's recreation that he was working on, and I was kind of looking at it. I was just kind of using it for references. It doesn't really, I was going to see if it, at first I was going to see if it fit into mine, but it doesn't really, because I kind of have a larger proportion building style for this park. Because to me, like, I wish we could change the heights of these, drop towers and stuff, because it's just way too tall. The real one would probably go about right here. It's about half the size almost. And this is the small one. That's the funny thing. So I kind of made the illusion that made the buildings just a little bit bigger to make it look, the proportions look a little bit better. But I haven't really done hardly any Fireman's Landing yet. Which I need to work on something here. I haven't really worked on anything yet. And then of course we have our buildings that burnt down to the ground. So I got that realistically going on for us right there. Because I had to be accurate to whatever. I don't care what everyone says. This is going to remain fry bread. I'm not changing it. Fry bread will live on in my world. I didn't know I had my message tones on. They could have made it to where you could change the heights. They stated that they couldn't, and then they proceeded later on making rides that you could change the heights on. So I don't know why they said they couldn't, because they definitely could have. I don't know, unless they figured out something later on, and I just kind of wish they would have updated it to where the older rides could be adjusted too. I don't know why that would cause much issues with programming and stuff, but I guess it does somehow. Doesn't make sense to me, but yeah, if it would definitely be a thing of Planet Coaster 2. They would have it, and I'm pretty sure they would. Life is simple on a farm. Oh, I gotta rip this out now. They ripped our overflow queue out. This queue doesn't exist anymore for this season. And the Trailblazer actually goes through here now and down this way. It doesn't go all the way around anymore. So that's gonna have to be changed. I like this though. I don't know if I'll remove it. I don't know. How much progress have I made on Flooded Mine? Well, it could be better, but here's Flooded Mine right here. So, it's not great, but it exists. I tried to do the scenes. It's hard to do the scenes when you're kind of limited, especially when you're limited on the people you have. I did have somebody that worked at the Flooded Mine send me the layout. They had a paper with the actual layout, so that helped out a lot for me to get the building and layout perfect. As perfect as I can get it anyways. But yeah, I have all these scenes in here. I was very limited on what I could do with the scenes. That's the one thing that was kind of difficult, but so it kind of looks a little odd, but it's in here. And obviously I didn't finish it or anything, but that's the most people I've seen in line for Outlaw Run. Yes, they are. Some of the songs are copyrighted. Some of them are not. It depends on the song. What's it playing now? That one's probably copyrighted. As long as I'm not in there for more than a few seconds, it shouldn't copyright it. Because I think with fair use, I think as long as you don't play it for more than 5 seconds, I think it is, you're good. Goes Outlaw Run. Best ride on park. Not even a competition. Look at those beautiful custom supports I did. I'm still proud of those custom supports. Stupid autosave. I also did the custom catwalk too. That was a pain in the butt.
With your feet on the floor and your back against the seat back, go ahead and buckle your seat belt.
And these are all custom supports. Look at that shaping though on that wave wall. Beautiful. All custom supports. I hope they add a vertical lift for the for them as well. For the rapids, that'd be great. Bum ba dum ba dum bum 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 ba dum. That way I don't have to make fake ones like this. And you got Time Traveler over here. Still need to redo that. It's just there. That was just a placeholder, and I still have it sitting there. And full queue line in here. Pretty proud of how the queue line turned out. Dispatch. I wish they could dispatch that quickly. Oh, yeah, we have 3 trains. Not in real life. In my version there will be. That would never happen. Both launches at the same time. We would never get dispatches that fast. One thing I did love is, like, this is an employee spot only, so I love just chilling out here on breaks sometimes and just watching the ride. It was a lot of fun. Can I do 2 tracks for that? Could retrack it again with the yeah, I did do that with the Copperhead strike track. I could retrack it with that. That way I can have the thicker spine. Because at this point I retraced it, or I traced it over to try and get those high stress points to have the thicker spine, because those are in there. But I didn't know if I wanted to retrace the entire ride layout again. Plus, this vertical loop, I don't think it's a custom vertical loop. I kid you not. I custom built this vertical loop. That would be really hard to replicate again. Hey, just be just be happy that the game came to console. I was not expecting that game to come to console when at first. I was actually very surprised when they announced it for console. To be perfectly honest, I did not think it was going to happen. but it did, so. But when you have a PC version of a game, you're always going to have way more perks. I think it makes sense, because it's easier to mod, it's easier to be able to have less limits, because PCs can become more powerful than consoles. I mean, it depends on the PC, of course, but it just has more range of options. And but I'm very impressed of what they were able to do with the console edition. Like, I was surprised. And oh, custom media, yeah. But like, I was very, very impressed of how much they were able to do. And when people started getting super angry at Frontier for making there a limit on how much scenery you could have in the park, I mean, I completely understand it, because I didn't even think the game could be handled on a console. So I don't think they deserved that much hate for that, because I completely understand it. They don't want the game crashing constantly. So. Oh, I am pretty tired, though. I just don't know what to really work on, or what would be the best thing to work on right now. What do you guys think? I wasn't really prepared for this stream too much, unfortunately, so I didn't have an idea of what I wanted to work on. I just kind of wanted to open it up because it's been a while, and maybe get in there and do a few things, but just ride the train. That's all we're gonna do.
Everybody wave and say bye, Ben. There's going to be $50. It's a great place to take all the little ones, and you even got an old-timey carousel. Gives up the arithmetic, bears at the holler. You can take kids up there and have them build themselves a step critter they can take for the ride home. There's also got a lot of great rides up there for all the adults, too. They're called Ben Tunes. Now, I do have a special treat for all the men on board. Up ahead in G11, we're going to see a two-story green building. Now, that's the world-famous Silver Dollar Saloon. Everybody go, woohoo!
Why are those people flying in the air?
It's a great show to go and watch it. You can even belly on it to the bar and get yourself a nice hot cold frosty root beer float. And just past the old saloon is going to be Fire in the Hole. Everybody say it together, Fire in the Hole! Those dirty ball knobbers came into town last night and they set the whole city ablaze. So the fire marshal's calling for everyone to help them put out that rage. That blaze, and everybody say it again, Fire in the Hole!
Fire in the hole.
And down the hill and due right up ahead, y'all are going to be seeing a fence. We don't really know what's being built over there behind that fence, but I will tell
They
y'all
didn't
one thing.
update audio for the train because it's still talking about Mystic. Hasn't been built yet.
So if you're out those wheels and farming, into that giant barn swings on big, yes, 75 feet and bring you back down to a whopping 15 miles an hour. Yeah, there ain't no chickens in that barn. Now, I don't want to alarm everybody, but that ginger word back there at the train, you call that those two notorious train robbers, Alvin and Ralphie Bowen, have busted out of jail, and the last report headed out this way. Everybody say, oh no!
Oh, no.
Keep your eyes peeled, your fingers crossed, and if you've got to go to cover in case you might want to keep your mouth shut. Now, folks, we are heading down 830 detail, and I can't help but notice some of the looks on y'all's faces that y'all are just so weird bit worried about the brakes on our train.
Yeah, I'll be over by 5 minutes.
No more, but we've got the best brakes that money can buy. Stuff will be in sometime next week. So in the meantime, everybody get your hands up in the air.
I do need to work on wildfire. It's very early.
Y'all know in case you lose the brakes on this here train. It's kind of like a roller coaster. And you know, speaking of roller coasters, over here.
Yeah, it's from 2019.
Strap get and blast, y'all. From 0 to breakfast is just 2.5 heartbeats. At least that's what I got before I passed out. you riding the world's most daring with coaster known as Outlaw Run. Outlaw Run takes out 107 feet, drop you 162 feet
Good,
and a
zoom.
90-degree angle, reaching a top speed of 68 miles there, and will turn your world upside down 3 times. Outlaw Run was just so darn super good at winning the 2013 Older Ticket Award for Best New Ride in the World. So don't miss out on it. It's Outlaw Run and Twitter. Good guys always win.
Ah, I got a floating tree. Darn.
Now, folks, up ahead, and believe me, I do mean to pick you up.
Did get cut off a little bit right there, but
water. They say first hit you start hopping, second hit you turn green, third shot you throw.
now unfortunately I couldn't get the train to stop long enough to do the full show at the train robbery, but I did cut bits and pieces out and made a minute version, a 60-second version. A giant 97-pound rattle-headed copper moccasin swooped down out of that tree and grabbed this lady by the arm, pulled her clean off the train. Now we Oh yeah, perfectly timed. The train goes through.
What do you hear from her husband? He's back there at the saloon. He's buying drinks for everybody. He's saying happy days are here again. And then now also be around this corner, we are going to be passing by the wreck of Engine 82. Now you see, we did
Look, I have the wreck.
by the name of Ichabod, huge body, and well, let's just say he had a little bit too much fun back there at Moonshine Stuff. He took our train for a ride. Well, he came around this 2.5-mile-an-hour curve at the breakneck speed of 5 miles an hour. Needless to say, he did not make it. Well, that train jumped the track, it rolled down the hill, and it crashed into the trees you're going to see off to your left. And now, luckily, nobody else was on that train except Ichabod. We went looking for all that wreckage. We found Ichabod. He was right. Okay, so we pulled him out. We dusted him off. We liquored him back up with a fresh jug of moonshine. I'll give you 3 guesses who's driving your train right now. Hey, Ichabod, if you're up there, can you give us 3 2 from the whistle, please?
I'm on the edge of the world here, that's why the terrain is so crazy right there. And I'm trying to cover it up with trees. It was hard to fit this whole train ride in there because it goes so far out that it doesn't really fit properly in the world. So.
Okay, wait a minute, Ichabod. What are we doing falling down out here in the middle of Rattlesnake Country? The thing's gonna stop.
Now, I haven't created the scene yet, but...
Now, could you shake your fist at Alfie and Ralphie falling out there and call them ugly?
Ugly. Again, I had to make an audio clip really short. It's kind of hard to hear, but... Like, again, I wish you could make it stay in longer. I would do the entire show. It'd be awesome. I would do something. But I had to make it shorter. Because it only allows you to keep the train stopped for so long. It's cut very, very, very short. I forgot how short it is. It's around a minute. Yeah. But I couldn't. I tried to fit in as much as I could with how I could. Oh gosh, trees.
Everybody wave and say bye, Alfie and Ralphie. Folks, give them a big hand. They're out here all day long robbing trains, even for just a little bit of sense.
Like, it's not perfectly timed, but I think it timed out pretty well so far. Yeah, it's like 15-20 minutes. They have different versions depending on how the schedule's going for them. Now we're about to go through Outlaw's area.
We got a brand new festival coming this October called Pumpkin Nights. We're going to have our usual trap festival during the day, but once that sun goes down, there's going to be nearly 10,000 lit up pumpkins.
Where's the train?
All the way from
I want to see a train go through while we're going by.
down in front of Time Traveler and all throughout the Grand Exposition area, folks. So be sure to come back and check it all out. But also, if y'all thought that our Christmas festival couldn't get any bigger, well, I guess we're all wrong there. Our Christmas festival this year is going to be the biggest
Yeah, the shortcut and then the mod cut.
8 million Christmas lights all around the park. Folks, you're going to have a brand new 80 $80 Christmas tree up on Town Square. It is all going to be a sight to see. We got a lot of great things coming this year, and y'all do not want to miss out on any of it. And also, for those of you that still have not ridden Time Traveler, y'all need to do so, because Time Traveler is still the world's tallest, fastest, steepest, and it's even still one of the longest spinning roller coasters in the world.
There's your shot right there.
At around 35 to 47 miles an hour.
Oh, there we go. Look at that time. Oh, we might meet him at the barrel roll.
That is straight down. Now, I can see some of you shaking your heads, no, there ain't no way you're going to get me going.
No.
Well, those I can reassure you, it is a
So that should be in the barrel. There it is.
will not spin fast at all like we can. Instead, we're actually rotating nice and slow as it goes on the track. That will be a great ride for y'all to enjoy. Please go and check out that Time Traveler. It's just up the rest of my training flow.
I hadn't ordered him back there. Here in Silver Dollar City.
Oh, we gotta move our break room. Our break room's not over there, it's right there now. That's my break room right there. But it's not in that location anymore.
We do it only at one of them from time to time, but there is something odd about that roundhouse. It's square.
I haven't built the roundhouse yet.
Guess you could say they weren't cutting any corners on that project, but it's okay, y'all don't have to laugh at that joke. I'm not going to road it.
I did do my best to cut it out where when you go across the crossing, it does the train 1 yell, and wave and yell howdy, train 2, wave and yell howdy, you know. If they ever give you a break, that is. I mean, I give myself breaks because I'm in charge of the ride, so it's like silver, kind of. Look, we're coming up at the construction site. Let's see if we can get a peek of what's going on over there. Yep, that's a construction site right there. I noticed the one thing that sucked in playing a coaster is when you're going uphill, the train slows down a lot. You can't really control it too much. I think you might be able to change the speed, but I haven't been in there in a while. Going under the water boggin tower. Alright, we're about to go through the crossing. Make sure you wave and yell howdy. We're in car 2. Let's see if it's lined up right now. There we go. For 2. Howdy.
Car 3, wave and yell howdy. Now here we go. Car 4, wave and go.
We have 2 trains on Saturdays, but that's about it so far.
My entire train crew, we would like to thank y'all for coming out today and riding the Frisco Silver Dollar Light. Please take this time to look around you for all your trash, so you want to keep yourself clean, train clean. And we want y'all to get home with anything that y'all may have brought on board. And also at this time, I do need everyone to please remain seated. Once again, please remain seated. The train does roll back just a little bit once we stop. So folks, for your safety, I do need everyone to please wait. Everybody wait, please. There you go, folks, next statue.
I love how he says, go ahead and exit out, and it's still moving. Like I said, it's not perfectly lined up with the audio, but I did my best.
Welcome, pioneers. Y'all need to stow all loose articles, and that means hats, cell
Thunderation?
phones, cameras,
Thunderation's
keys,
so
and
incomplete,
change.
though.
Watch your step as you board the stagecoach. When you're all comfy in your seat with your feet on the floor and your back against the seat back, go ahead and buckle your seat belt. Our stagehands will let you know when to pull down your restraint. During your journey, keep your hands and feet inside the stagecoach at all times. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Trust me, I miss our old. We had it, the 2013 announcement was so much better. Then they changed it because they added the seatbelts and they got that voice instead, and I was like, why? I also did a neat trick because in Planet Coaster you can't have, there's no such thing as on the RMC having catwalks on both sides of the track. Well, Outlaw Run has catwalks on both sides of the track, so I had to do a trick there to get them on both sides. And I also did a custom catwalk all the way to the bottom of the drop because that's how it is in real life. This is all custom catwalks right there. That was fun. It even have the camera where it takes your photo, and it flashes at night too, so at nighttime it actually flashes.
In your seat with your feet on the floor and your back against the seat back, go ahead and buckle your seat belt.
That was a close call, folks. I think that varmint would still be chasing us if Marshal Wyatt hadn't cornered him back there. Here at Silver Dollar City, the good guys always win.
Alright, Thunderation. Let's get a bumper view because you can't really hardly see. And the custom supports on this are going to be a pain in the butt. And a lot of people, I'm sure, always ask, why don't you just use the in-game mine train? Because it doesn't look accurate to Thunderation's track, that's why. That's why I'm doing custom supports, and Thunderation also has wooden supports, so it makes it even harder. Again, this is very much incomplete. Oh yeah, I forgot I threw in the thunder bump there, as we called it. They actually fixed that, so I can actually change that again. The reason why this is so wonky is because I moved it multiple times. Oh yeah, I got custom audio on this too. Custom lift audio, so it sounds like Thunderation's lift. Oh, it cut out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Oh, there it goes again. Can't make up its mind sometimes. Yeah, you know, I've neglected Thunderation's area so long, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I could work on custom supporting Time Traveler as well. It is loud. I tried to look for the loudest one I could. Best as I can get. It's got that weird drop turn after that. Audio sounds weird right now. On the other side, it is, I believe you're, hold on. I'm not entirely sure. For some reason, I want to say... Let me see. Thunderation lift. It is... I probably won't be able to find it. Yes. Photos. Is that it? Well, that is Tennessee Tornado. That's not Thunderation. Type Thunderation. Well, there's no pictures of the lift hill anywhere. That's a good question. And I walked by side. You're correct. I might end up making custom catwalks, because it by default will put it on one side. I can't choose the side it's on in Planet Coaster, which is stupid, by the way. There is one coaster type we can do that on, but they decided not to add it to the existing coaster types. So Copperhead Strike allows you to put it on either side, whatever side you want. So the lift hill is kind of crooked. Well, I mean, it was built in the 90s, so and it was all before computer-aided design, so they kind of just built it the best they could at the time. So there's that. All right, well, let me see. The reason I didn't actually work on this too much is because I didn't know if I was going to end up moving it again. So I kind of stayed back on it just a little bit, because I was like, in case I have to move it. But I don't think it's going to be moving again. I think we are good to go ahead and start doing this. I'm going to adjust the terrain to the existing supports I already had. I had a lot more done than this, but I ended up I did delete a lot of them because I redid a lot of the layout, I think, if I remember right. I ended up redoing a lot of the layout, and I had to do that. So yeah, so I have to place every single one, and I have to adjust every single one properly too, which is a pain in the butt. So yeah. It was the second coaster. Technically, yes, because the first one was Fire in the Hole, and they really didn't. Well, I mean, unless you count like the Runaway Mine or Cart, whatever it was a kiddie coaster, which I guess you could include that, but I don't know if I would. Okay, so this is a road that goes this way, and we need to blend it. This is the hardest part, is blending all this together into one world. It's pretty difficult, especially when you're working with crazy amounts of terrain in the game. It does make it kind of hard. We have to get the tunnel enclosed as well. So let's, before I get too far, I gotta make sure the terrain's right. That's why we don't want to go too far, because if the terrain isn't right and we do the supports, we're gonna have to adjust the supports, and it can become a pain in the butt. So I remember I was still adjusting at the time, a lot of this, so that's why I hadn't made much progress on it. So let's get that tunnel enclosed here. To get us started. Did I just enclose it onto the track? Of course I did. Come on. I can't say Thunderation is the best. It's too bumpy and has a lot of jerks. I don't think it's that bad. Considering it being an aero coaster, I honestly don't think it's that bad. When it had the thunder bump, as we like to call it, yes, it was awful. There was one spot in the tunnel that was completely messed up, and it freaking hurt. It felt like a car wreck. Like, I kid you not. It felt like you had just gotten into a car wreck. And it was awful. And that's why I put this awkward bend right there to simulate it. Because at the time I was building this, it still had that. It's funny. But anyways, let's go ahead and build this up. And, like, I don't find it rough. I don't think that's the right wording in my opinion, but Because I've been on rough rides. Trust me, that's not even close to being rough compared to a lot of the some rides I've been on. Then again, I've been riding it my entire life, so maybe I just know how to ride it. Like, I don't know. I don't find mini coasters to be rough in the first place. I guess I have like a high tolerance for it as well, so it takes a lot of roughness for me to call a coaster rough in the first place. Who fixed said Thunder Bump? I'd imagine it would be our maintenance team. But yeah, I don't know. I forgot what year it was. It was 2017, 2018. It might have been 2019. There was this really rough spot, like the worst thing ever. In the it was inside the tunnel, like right inside the tunnel, and it was a really bad jolt, and it hurt. It was awful. But in the off season, they ended up fixing it after that off season. But it was like the entire season it had that bump, and we called it the Thunder Bump. At the time, that's what we called it. But, okay, let me see. Oh gosh. Oh Lord, I forgot. So I made these. Did I make these separate? So I did these. I don't know why I just have the one there. Oh yeah, and I had this metal part that's also in there. That is a pain in the booty. So basically, I would line this up, and the reason why this custom supporting was so bad is because I would have to adjust every single one of these exactly the way I need it, like properly, like this. So it would take like sometimes multiple minutes just to place one of these. So it would be kind of a pain. And again, I did this for a reason, because I wanted it to have a certain look. I wanted it to look more accurate to the real ride. So I abused myself and decided to do this. So that's one. Every cross tie, every single cross tie had to be accounted for. And if I got lucky, sometimes I'd be like, yeah, that one's fine. Move on to the next one. But that's not even all of it. There's still one more factor I had to do too, and that's this metal piece as well that goes all the way through. So I remember when I originally started this, I would do just a little bit at a time. Like I would work on it for a little bit, and then I would work on something else as well. Like I wouldn't just focus on this one thing, because you know I just kind of slowly, and then I kind of didn't worry about it for the longest time. The longest time I would just be like, I don't want to work on custom supports for Thunderation because they're not the most entertaining thing to work on. That is for sure. But if I want to get that look, that I want. See, I never changed this one. Or a few of those. I think I was kind of trying to cheat there. Maybe that's what I was trying to do on those ones. I don't know. But it's got this. Basically, its cross tie is this thing of this block of wood, and it's got these two metal or steel pieces coming up that have the track. That's basically how it works. It looks a lot different than a lot of those out there. Kind of has its own unique style, and that's why I'm trying to customize it myself. But. And this was all before we had like the custom support stuff that they had when I started this. That's why all of those. Oh wait, you know what I did? I thought this looked over supported. I get it now. Now I understand. I did the supports I had 2 beams in between. I just now realized that, so I've been doing this wrong this entire time. Whoops. I was like, I thought it started to look a little over-supported. I was like, what am I doing? What is going on? That would be why. Because actually, in reality, we don't place every single one of those down. We do 2 of these in between, and then we do a support structure. Then we do a support. So 2 there, and then the supports. My videos have helped you out, and I've been gosh, sorry. I've been watching this channel for a couple of years now, and you've inspired me to start my own channel. I even have Minecraft Fire in the Hole recreation. Nice. Keep up with it. Even if you're not getting viewers, keep up with it. Do something you like. And if you're passionate about something, the viewers will eventually come. I've had a lot of times where I've just gotten so discouraged, and I'm just like, man, this video's not getting views, people aren't watching, you know. Don't let that get you down, because, you know, especially when you first start out, that's, you know, the hardest thing is getting started. And, you know, even after getting started, even after having quite a few thousand subs, I still find myself like, man, I can't believe that video didn't perform as good. You know, and sometimes I even don't finish series, because, you know, I let it get to me sometimes, and I've been trying to do better. I think I've done a lot better since, but, you know, it can be tough. But, you know, the best thing to do is keep yourself inspired somehow by watching other creators, and, you know, visiting parks helps a lot. When you're visiting other parks, you can get inspired easily. Easy, easy, easy. Easy, easy, easy. Love Silver Dollar City. Nice. It is a charming park. Like, I really want to get this recreation going and done. I've been saying it for years, but I want to get it done. That way I can move on to the next recreation. However, the next recreation I probably won't do until Planet Coaster 2 comes out. So that's my biggest fear with the pace that I've been on in this thing. Planet Coaster 2 is going to release, and then this park will become irrelevant by then. That's what I'm kind of fearing. And boy, would I love to be able to convert your parks over to the second game. I don't think it's gonna happen, but that would be absolute dream of mine. That way I could continue this into Planet Coaster 2. Because I would have to rebuild everything if I wanted it in Planet Coaster 2, which I don't think I would do again. Maybe I would. Maybe I'd try a better approach to get it done better. Maybe I could do it. You never know. It's like, if you go to the park often, you probably have seen me operating Outlaw Run. So I am the team lead of Outlaw Run. So, if that's a feature, it'd be incredible. I don't think it will happen, but I would love to see that feature to where you can, like, import your Planet Coaster 1 parks into Planet Coaster 2. That would be awesome. I think they did that for RCT 1 to RCT 2. You could actually import your a lot of stuff from the first game. But those games are so similar, it made sense. So, but I'd imagine these games would be similar. It could be possible. Again, I don't think it will happen, but, you know, it's definitely on my wish list of my big features to add to Planco 2. Would definitely be on there. Definitely. How many people did you guys hire for this year at... How many people did we hire? 2. One was part-time. And I was the only returner. I was the only returner. We hired 2 guys, one of them being part-time, and it takes 4 people to run Outlaw Run with breaks. And that's just one train. So, yeah. Thankfully, we have internationals from the Dominican Republic. That helps us out. And they actually have a group that's going to stay the entire year this year, and I got 2 of them helping us, so I am definitely thankful for that. The long curly hair left. He left Outlaw Run, but he is still in the park. You're talking about Tim. He works at Time Traveler now. He's still on park. He just works at Time Traveler. So he didn't leave the park. He just left Outlaw Run. He actually had a issue with his shoulder, and because Outlaw Run is a very physically demanding ride with those heavy lap bars, he had to transfer. So. And his hair is real, by the way, in case you guys are wondering. If you go to Time Traveler and see this guy with long, black, curly hair, his hair is real. He has at least 50 guests ask him a day if his hair is real. I'm just going to answer for you now. Yes, it is. Before y'all question it. Okay, I think I'm gonna do one more support here, and then we're gonna do a little bit of fine details around the area. So we're gonna do a little bit at a time. I think that's good. It's a good idea, you know. Just a little bit at a time, because boy, can I get burnt out on doing this very, very quickly. I review roller coasters, and that is another reason why I watch. Drops over the past couple of years. I've slowly gotten over it, starting with American Plunge and Thunderation. Yeah. Definitely a good place to start. Like if you're going to do another big one, or just get on that. I don't know if you've done Fire in the Hole. That's also kind of doesn't really count, but I'd say your next one, if you were to move up to the next coaster, I'd probably say Powder Keg, because after the launch, it's a very tame ride. The launch is pretty insane, pretty intense, but after the launch, it's very tame, and it kind of gets you. It's definitely more on the tamer side. And then after Powder Keg, I'd say the next one to do would probably either be Wildfire or Time Traveler, because Time Traveler is super tame as well. After the first drop. The first drop's really fun, and only in the back row does it really get your stomach, if at all. If you're in the back rows of Time Traveler. But yeah, and then Outlaw Run is the most intense and insane coaster at Silver Dollar City, so. Fear of Heights. Like people that talk and say jokes before you get on and write it. I wish we could do more of that when we do that in front of. Sometimes we get in trouble depending on what we joke about. They don't like us joking about safety for obvious reasons, because they don't want to get guest complaints. But crap! I hit the blueprint button by accident. Well, the plunge doesn't have any restraints. You know, you get in the log and go. It was built in like '81. Well, it wasn't built in '81. It actually transformed into American Plunge in '81, I think it was. Gosh dang, I hate it when I accidentally hit the blueprint button, because it takes forever to even pop up, and I have to wait for it. I have all the deals. That would definitely be a downside if it didn't. have all the DLCs and more. Like, I feel like all the DLCs and such should be in, that should be the base game, and then add more stuff to it. You know, so. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of environment on this. So we're gonna add start adding some trees. When you start adding trees in these areas and such, it looks more completed. It starts looking more completed fast. So once I put trees around here, you're gonna be like, wow, that wasn't completed at all. And then once you plop down all these trees, boom, it looks complete. Oh, I would always like doing an American plunge and then like be in the front and then just duck, and the people behind and the person in the back just gets drenched. Good times. Goody. Got some big trees to put in here. Big trees. Okay, look at this, already looking so much more completed just because we plopped down a few trees. You know, that's just how simple it can be sometimes. Oh yeah, this is the host lounge. Should I make the host lounge? I had pulled pork sandwiches in the host lounge today. They actually weren't too bad. The lounge can be a hit or miss when it comes to food in there sometimes. I had fried chicken yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Could get my days wrong, but I had some fried chicken in there. I think it was yesterday, and it was actually pretty good. It was pretty good fried chicken. One of my favorite things, I think it might actually be tomorrow on the menu, is they do this pizza casserole. Really good stuff. It's probably one of my favorite things they do there. You ever get noticed in the park? All the time. I haven't. It's been quite a few weeks, but I do get recognized in the park lots. I was like, do not. If you're ever at the park and you see me, you know, don't hesitate to say hi or something, you know. Who's the most famous person you've ever seen? I mean, I haven't seen many. Honestly, like, I've never really seen a celebrity, but the most I think basically the only famous person I think I've seen. I mean, obviously I've seen a lot of coaster channels that have. I mean, that doesn't really count. I've seen YouTubers, you know, like coaster channels, like the Tim Tracker was there one time. Coaster Studios is there once in a while, and they always get their footage and stuff. I was there when Coaster Studios was getting their footage and stuff for the RMC documentary, and I'm actually in that documentary. The back of my backside is in the. My face isn't in the documentary, but the backside of me is in the documentary. And I was like, hey, that's me. I remember when he filmed that. But the most famous person I think that's ever come through Silver Dollar City was Randy Orton, the pro wrestler, actually came through. And I don't really watch wrestling. I used to watch wrestling a lot as a kid, but I haven't watched it in a long time. But yeah, Randy Orton was at the park a couple of years ago. Yeah, I've seen Coaster Force as well. Yeah, we can do another one. It won't be great just yet, but you know, it'll look a little bit better. Let's get into let's go into the Terra painting here and just kind of make it look less boring. How about that? That's what we're gonna do. KO. But yeah, Randy Orton was at Silver Dollar City a few years ago. I actually did not even see him, though. He did not ride Outlaw Run. I guess because there was some one of the workers, one of my coworkers, was following him around kind of secretly, and he was waiting for him to come to Outlaw. But I guess his wife or something was like, "I'm done with rides." After they rode the swing, they rode the giant swing, which is right next door, and then they decided not to come to Outlaw Run. And I'm like, ah. I mean, I'm not like a big fan of him or anything, but still, like, when you see someone famous or someone that like that, it's just kind of insane to see him in person. So, but yeah, I didn't. That's probably the most famous person I saw at the park, which I didn't really see him. Do I watch Sir Willow? I do. I actually remember when I worked there at the same time he worked at the park as well. I remember seeing him on the train a few times, and everything, so. I didn't really know him that well personally, but, you know. But I have watched his videos and such on YouTube. I think I'm subscribed to him, actually. And I've seen him visit the park once in a while, too. He does visit the SDC once in a while. I started watching him before he had as many subs as he has now. He only had I actually watched him when I had more subs than him. So he grew his channel pretty quickly because just having those theme park stories and stuff, I think, was something you didn't really see very often, and it's awesome for him because since that was interesting, he gained a lot of subs really quick. Oh yeah, he for sure deserves more subs. Like I said, he grew really fast because I remember when I first subbed to him, I had more subs than him. Of course, I mean, I grew. He grew really fast though, or grew a lot faster than I did. Is growing. How many subs is he at right now? I actually am curious. I haven't looked at his channel in a while. I haven't watched any of his videos. He's at almost 29.1k subs. Wow. When I subbed to him, I think he had like 2,000, maybe 1 to 2,000 or something like that. So I was there in the early days. Of course, he would get recommended on my page because, you know, theme parks and Silver Dollar City and stuff like that. So I found him pretty quickly. But I just love hearing some of his stories about the steam train and when he worked at Disney and all that fun stuff. It's crazy you only have 6K. We're actually approaching 7K pretty quickly. This year has been a better start than I could have ever imagined. This year so far has been a really good start for the channel so far. So it's all thanks to you guys as well. I mean, we're sitting here at 20 viewers right now, which is still, to me, crazy. At 20 viewers right now, you know. Hi everyone, by the way. Hello, hello, hello. 7K 24-hour live stream special. I don't know. I want to do another 24-hour stream, but I didn't do one this year, and it's the first time in quite a few years actually I didn't do one. I just did not feel up to it this off season, and I don't know what it was, but I just did not do it this year so far. And I didn't deny that. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do one at all this year. I could still do one, but I don't know. Those 24-hour live streams take out a lot out of me, and you know, you get to those the points at like 2-3 a.m. when no one's watching, everyone's asleep, and I'm practically falling asleep because everyone else is sleeping, and it's like, what's the point of me doing this right now? And it's really a tough point because everyone, the chat slows way down. I only have like a couple people viewing, and they're probably asleep themselves, just with the stream open, and no one's chatting, and it makes it tough on me because I have no one really to talk to when I'm in the middle of the night, and it starts making me tired because it's a lot easier when everything's active and everyone's trying to stay awake with you. And, it's probably like a 2-3 hour span where it's just really dead and it's really tough to get through. There was a few years I almost called it quits and said I don't think I can do this, but then I powered through, and then the stream kind of gets dull when I get tired, because I get tired and the stream just kind of gets dull because I'm not as exciting, I'm not talking as much, and the stream just kind of gets a little boring, I guess you could say. And it's just not the funnest content, as awesome as it sounds, 24-hour live stream. I go a bit crazy at the end, towards the end, and I'm just like, just trying to get through to the end. I'm just trying to make it through, even, like, I don't feel like, once you get past the 12-hour point, you don't want to stream. You're sick of streaming at that point. It's just like, this is too much. I've done nice long streams in the past, but typically I always feel like the 2-hour mark is a good spot. It's not too long, it's not super short. I mean, it's kind of short, but people aren't gonna watch for that long, so I mean, some people do. Some people will, if they really do want to. But it varies. It varies from person to person. It really does. It really does. I'm glad I'm finally giving. I guess it's nice for me to finally give Thunderation some attention here. I need to lift this up a bit because time traveler supports are not that tall in this spot. This is definitely taller. And definitely for the support structure for Thunderation over here, I'm going to need to raise these up a bit. And I think this section's actually kind of a little bit underground too, so. Thoughts on America's first tilt coaster? I did see that. That looks amazing. I'm excited. I've never been on a tilt coaster, obviously, since there's only like one in the world with Gravity Max, which isn't even close to me. I think it'll be cool because Texas isn't that far away from me, so maybe I can check it out eventually. I can't believe not more have been built until just now. It kind of blows my mind that that it hasn't been much of a thing until now. Like, I just can't believe that they didn't build more of them. I feel like it's a very popular ride concept, and the GP is going to go like, what the heck? It's going to blow the GP's minds, for sure. Because they're just going to be like, oh my goodness, look at that. Just like with dive coasters. Dive coasters make the GP go crazy, like, oh my gosh. I live in Missouri, and it's not too far. It's only like probably a 6. It depends on where at in Texas I would go to, but it's probably like a 6-hour drive. I think it's about a 6.5 to 7-hour drive to one of the, I forget which Six Flags it is, but either Fiesta, Texas, or Over, Texas. It's actually not too far away. Look at that. That's looking nice and smooth. That's looking nice and crispy. Look at that. That looks a lot better than what we started. I'll say that. I'm gonna try and do Texas road trip and hit up all the major parks in that state. Yeah, I would definitely like to visit both Six Flags in Texas. I've only been to 2 Six Flags parks, and that's Six Flags St. Louis and Six Flags Magic Mountain. I just experienced Magic Mountain for the first time back in February. Was it February? Yeah, February. I didn't even get to ride all the rides. Unfortunately, I couldn't ride Tatsu was being repainted, so I had to miss out on it. New Revolution was closed both days I went, because I went 2 days. Thankfully, I got to ride X2, I got to ride Goliath, I got to ride Twisted Colossus, I got to ride Scream, got to ride Ninja, got to go ride West Coast Racers, Apocalypse. Didn't get the Kitty Coaster credits because, you know, I'll skip out on Kitty Coasters. I don't really care about those credits all that much. There was one point where I did try and get Kitty credits, and at this point I'm like, there's no point anymore. Alright, let's check out our progress and see how it looks. See how it's looking in here. Yeah. Now I purposely make these aero coasters slightly rough. Or I mean, like, not rough, but like slightly jagged and jerky. But I make the transitions not super smooth. Been to 2 theme parks in my home state, Missouri, 6 Flags St. Louis, and $7 City. I haven't fixed that yet, so never properly made those tunnels yet, so. Cut out there. I don't get why it's cutting out there, but it is. Well, I've been to SDC in Missouri and lived there for ages. Well, SDC is the best park in Missouri, in my opinion. I've been to Worlds of Fun, Six Flags St. Louis, and SDC. I get in all 3 parks free, so I really want to make a Kentucky Kingdom trip, just because I get in there free now, so. I've heard mixed opinions. Some people like it, some people don't. My favorite ride of all time is Velocicoaster at Universal Islands of Adventure. SDC is the best park. I have been, but it's not my favorites. My favorite park is Islands of Adventure in Florida. Just overall as a park experience, I never have a bad time going there. I love it. Just the theming is just insane. Plus I'm a big Harry Potter fan, and just Islands of Adventure is so overpowered compared to Universal, which is right next door. Have I rode Steel Vengeance? I have. Steel Vengeance is ranked number 2 for me. Currently. Opinions change all the time. I haven't ridden Steel Vengeance since 2018 when it opened, and it could be that new ride phobia thing where, it's not a phobia. Why did I say phobia? Sometimes when you ride a new ride, you want it to be your favorite ride. Have you ever understood? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So like when I rode Velocicoaster, I had that thought like, I think this is better than Steel Vengeance right away because I just rode it. And it's incredible, and it exceeded my expectations, which is really hard to do because I had it so hyped up. And it still exceeded the expectations. And that's when I was like, I think I like it better than Steel Vengeance, and maybe if I ride Steel Vengeance again, maybe my opinion will change again, but I think Velocicoaster is my favorite. It's just the theming. When you put the theming in there, it just adds so much, and then that second half is insane. I've never experienced an inversion as crazy as the Mosasaurus roll. That is the best way to end a ride. It's like the best finale I could have asked for. Doing that quick roll over the water with the restraints that they use is just insane. You feel like you're just going to fall right into the lagoon. It's insane. Rides are really good, and the atmosphere is weird in Kentucky Kingdom. But yeah, since the Hershans own it now, I get in there free now. So really want to go to Universal Studios. It's absolutely, I highly recommend. If you can only choose one park, definitely do Islands of Adventure. They've got Spider-Man, they got Kong, they got Incredible Hulk, they've got Velocicoaster, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, Forbidden Journey. It's, the list goes on. Like, Universal's Islands of Adventure is way overpowered compared to Universal side right now. The Universal side's really good as well, and I always get the Park Hopper Pass so I can go between the two in the day, and I always like to, and Escape from Gringotts is probably my favorite ride at Universal, on the Universal side, the regular Universal Studios, so. Been to both major parks in Virginia, Kings Dominion, and Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Still haven't gotten to ride Pantheon yet. That looks like an Intamin. It does look great. That looks great. Pantheon looks really good. SDC, I think, is objectively better than Knott's, my favorite park. But I love Knott's for sentimental reasons, and I love its history. I did go to Knott's back. I actually got to go to Knott's Berry Farm for the first time in February, and as much as I liked the park itself, but I think it was more of an operations thing, and the guests visiting it really kind of soured my visit there a little bit, because we got line jumped at every single ride, and it was really annoying. The lines moved really, really slow, and I don't know, like, I liked the park. I loved the rides that were at Knott's. I don't know what it was, but I think it was mostly the guest visiting there just gave me a sour, and it just kind of made it sour for me, and the fact that there wasn't really enforcement for the line jumping, and I was about to lose my mind. When I was waiting in line for Sierra Sidewinder, I was about to freaking, like if somebody tries to try and jump me in line one more time, I'm just going to block the way. Like, I don't know what it was. It was a lot of, maybe it was just the time of year I was going, and maybe the day I was going, because there were a lot of, nothing against teenagers, but, like, there was a lot of teens there. And, you know, I was tired of the people holding their places in line. Like, oh, I know them. I can skip in front of all these people because I know that person in line. No, you gotta wait in line together. Like, I shut that stuff down at Outlaw Run. If someone tries to cut the line, even if they're with someone in line, I don't let them do it. They try to go through the emergency exit, which is first, is like, hey guys, why are you going through that emergency exit? Is this an emergency? Like, I've had people try to sneak people in line, and I shut it down and I kicked them out of the line. I was like, no, not happening. But I loved the park. Like, I absolutely loved Knott's. Like, I thought it was great. You know, I still had a good time, regardless of the little bit of sourness that was slightly there. But I don't think it was completely the park's fault. It was a lot of the people visiting the park, which, again, they were just kind of some rude people there, you know. Again, nothing against Knott's too much. I just kind of wish they would have enforced stuff a little bit better. Then again, there wasn't really many employees around that could stop the line jumping, so it's not really their fault. So it's just kind of like a mess, you know, that of kind of like that, you know. I don't know, just the people visiting were kind of made the trip a little bit eh. And I really liked Six Flags Magic Mountain. Was actually surprised me a little bit. You know, being a Six Flags park, I was like, okay, I'm excited for a lot of these rides, but it is a Six Flags park, and it definitely felt like one. I mean, obviously, I had only, before going to Magic Mountain, the only Six Flags park I had gone to was Six Flags St. Louis, which obviously is at the bottom, you know, for Six Flags. But I really enjoyed it. Full Throttle was kind of the surprise gem for me, because I loved Full Throttle. Full Throttle was fun. Even though it is a very short ride, it packs a punch in that very short time. I actually really, really like. I love the hang time on the loop. The launch is really good, and then I like the mid launch too, where it launches you backwards and forwards again. The multi launch there is awesome. So Full Throttle was the one that kind of surprised me. I marathoned Twisted Colossus. I only got one duel on it, so that sucked. But I mean, it's not completely the ride op's fault. They're trying to get the trains out as quick as they can. I kind of wish it was more like West Coast Racers, where you're gonna get a duel every time. I thought that was genius on West Coast Racers because we were dueling every single time, and I love that. Also, most teenagers suck. As a teenager, I can say that with confidence. It just kind of depends on what type of teenagers. Some teenagers are really nice. Some of them, yeah. Like, some of them are, you know, well, they're teenagers. And when I was growing up as a teenager, I never acted like some of those people. Again, I'm not, like, saying, or I'm definitely not, like, prejudiced against teenagers or discriminate against them or anything. I just, because I was a teenager myself, it was just, I don't know, they get that vibe sometimes. It's just like they want to cause chaos. And when I was a teenager, I never did that. I guess I was raised real well. I don't know. My parents did pretty well, I guess. Like, just some guests sometimes feel like, I feel like they paid to get in the park. They feel like they can do whatever they want. They act like they can do what they want. Well, that's further from the truth. They think that the rules don't apply to them, and that since they paid money to get into the park, they can treat the employees any way they want. So, because I've been called all the names. I've been called all the names when I enforce rules or rider requirements of the ride for their safety. I've been called a lot of names. When someone's kid's not too tall enough, I have been cussed out over because their kid wasn't tall enough. Multiple times. A lot of the times. That's typically the most common one. Oh, he's only a half-inch under. It still doesn't matter. If I can't knowingly put someone that's too short on the ride, or I get fired. That is a huge safety violation that they will fire you right on the spot. Friend's going to college in LA, so Magic Mountain is his home park. Sweet. While at school, sorry, let me finish your comment, Lucky Dog. He also has Knott's Disneyland all right there. Yeah, see, like I actually got, since we went for multiple days, I actually bought a season pass for Magic Mountain, and I'm potentially thinking, I'm really thinking about going back later this year after Wonder Woman opens, because I haven't been on an RMC Raptor yet. And going back there and using my season pass again, because I did get a season pass. So, and I couldn't believe the prices on Six Flags Magic Mountain. They're so cheap compared to most parks. Like, my season pass only costed me, I don't even remember. It was barely over $100. Or was it even $100? Like, it costed the same as going to the park for 2 days. That's why I got it, because it also included the free parking. So it was definitely worth it. For sure. And I still have, I didn't use everything. I got like a dining pass too, and I didn't even use it all completely. You know, so. Have you seen the pink beatbox at Thunderation? Pink beatbox? I have no clue. I haven't even been near Thunderation like this year yet. So I couldn't tell you. The biggest pet peeve are people who treat amusement park staff poorly. It makes me furious. Yeah, for sure. Unless the park staff is really being rude and not doing their job properly, I can understand. But like when they're just treating them poorly for doing their job, and because they have to enforce the policies, they have to enforce the rules, and they're mad at the rule itself and chew the employee out for it. It's like, we didn't make that rule, but we have to enforce it. What happened to the animals? If you're talking about Silver Dollar City, I have no clue. Somebody literally yelled at a Wild Eagle operator, "Do you really have the audacity to tell me I can't have my phone out on a ride?" Yes, they do. They got security called on them. Oh, I chew people out all the time when they take their phones out. I absolutely hate it. they think they can do whatever they want. Well, that's one of my biggest things that I hate the most, is when people pull out their phones after I tell them not to pull it out. And you know what I tell them when they come back? Do not come back to my ride, because I will not let you ride this ride again. Because I already warned you, and you did it anyways, and that is a huge safety thing, so you riding this ride puts people's safety at risk. Therefore, I'm not letting you ride again, because you won't listen to the safety rules. When the parent says close enough, and I just shake my head, I had someone say, we'll take the risk. No joke. This is like, I think it was only in my second season that I worked there, and someone said, we'll take the risk, and he wasn't even close. I'm talking like 2 inches too short, and I gave them the most dumbfounded face. I was like, I can't believe you just said that. And I was like, no. I was like, this isn't an option. There's no we'll take the risk. That was their wording, too. That's the words they used. We'll take the risk. Not that, oh, it'll be fine. No, they said, oh, we'll take the risk. I'm like, what? That was probably one of the most craziest things I've ever heard a parent say when their kid was too short. We'll take the risk. If you go in September is a good time to go. October used to be, but then once they started Pumpkins in the City, it actually started getting a little busy during October, so. But my friend said he got a season pass to Magic Mountain for $90. Yeah, I think it was somewhere around there. I'm over here with my $210 for Dollywood. I get into Dollywood free, so I thankfully don't have to worry about that. SDC's prices have gone insane. I think a day pass is now almost $80. I think it's $78 or something like that. They raised the prices this season, and it is really insane. They're getting really expensive. But yeah, I don't know if anyone saw, but Custer Studios got cussed out on Fear. I did see that video. Because he was telling the person that, hey, don't take your phone out during the ride, and so they got really mad at him for that. And I'm just like, oh, I've actually done ride-throughs, because we have to ride every 2 hours. I've done ride-throughs. Someone pulls their phone out right next to me, next to the operator, and I had to tap him saying, put that away right now. I actually had that happen a few weeks ago. And I'm like, put that away. He didn't put it away, but... Take the risk doesn't work when they didn't sign any liability waivers. I feel bad for that kid. Oh, I would too. Didn't like my child anyway. Might as well just throw him away. 50-50 will take the risk. I actually just heard of trying to building another intimate vertical lift coaster like Fahrenheit at Hershey Park. Nice. Also, what's up, Dr. Awesome? Good evening. Good evening. When I said go in September, I was referring to Magic Mountain. Oh, got you. Well, that's kind of a good time to go in any park in general. So maybe I'll look into September, though, because things will slow down at my park, and maybe I can get a couple days off and be able to fly out there again. Dollywood Daily is now $85. Holy crap, 25. See, that's what I like about SDC. We got free parking. There is preferred parking that you can pay for, but SDC still has that free parking. They have that going for them. Just because there's no other way to get out with driving, I wouldn't go if I didn't have a season pass. Whew. Ooh, can't math or spell. Don't worry, I cannot type for the life of me either, so you're not alone in that one. Do you miss Lost River? I actually do. I miss the indoor section with the heartbeat, the little cave section. That was my favorite part in Lost River, and I wish they would have retained something like that on Mystic River Falls. If Mystic River Falls would have had an indoor section like that, where you kind of you hear the heartbeat and you're in that cave, it would have been I think it would have been perfect. But since they don't have any actual cave theming to a ride that's themed to Marvel Cave, I'm kind of disappointed in Mystic. Not to mention all the downtime it has, so... It's still a good rapids ride, but I think Lost River, I don't know. I feel like they could have kept it closer to Lost River. I'm fine with them adding the vertical lift and the drop for the gimmick purposes. That's not even the best part of the ride, by the way. The rapid section on Mystic is actually the best part. I think the drop is a little gimmicky and everything, but it's still kind of fun, but still not great. And then I don't know, Lost River did have a really good charm to it. So I am kind of sad, but when it went, but I don't even remember my last ride on it. Like, I don't think I rode it that last year it was open. I'm not a big water ride person in the first place, but I know Lost River was having a lot of issues with its structures and stuff, so I can understand, but just the dude with the weird owl hair still work there. Yes, he does. He works at Time Traveler now. He did work at Outlaw, but now he works at Time Traveler. Why do you choose building all different parts of the park pretty much all sometime instead of one area after another? It's more of a patience thing, and it's an issue that I've always had, and I think it probably would have went better if I did one section at a time and complete it one, because doing it the way I do end up forgetting a lot, and I do kind of regret not doing one section at a time, and it was more of a patience thing. I can't work on the same area for too long, or I go insane. And I don't know if a lot of you have, I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of stuff with patience as well. And it's one of the issues I have is I just can't work on the same area for too long, or I go insane. And I have to kind of bounce back and forth between areas, and it's just kind of happened in that style. If I was to redo it, I think I would do one section at a time, starting for the front of the park and work my way around. You know, and I probably should still kind of do that. Like, I should probably go back to the beginning, finish everything up, and then work my way around, and then slowly, I should probably do that. But and I've also had a lot of issues where I had to relocate stuff because it wouldn't fit into the park itself, or into the world. One of the biggest issues was I had issues trying to get Wildfire to fit because it's right on the edge of the world. And then over here, I think I've had issues by Time Traveler, Grand Expo, and then I still have all this area back here to work with, which is funny. And I actually had to put it in a diagonal spot here to get it to kind of fit the way properly, but I don't know. Like, I need to go. It's definitely a valid question, though, and I probably, in the end, should have probably done a section at a time and just focus on one section, finish that section before moving on to the next section. And if I would have done it that way, I probably could have had the park done by now. As weird as it could kind of sound, like I have had moments where like maybe I should restart on some sections. But I think what I might need to start looking at here is maybe go back to the entrance and just go through here and say, okay, what do I need to finish here? What have I not done? Finish it, and then move up to the next section, the next part, and just work my way up, work my way through here, get the square done, and then just pick where it is. So it's just kind of, again, it's kind of a patience issue, and I've always had issues with that. I can't play Planet Coaster for much more than 2 hours at a time, because if I do, I start going insane with my patience, and I hate giving up on parks, because I've done it so many times where you get a good start, and then you just start rushing things, and it just ends up not turning out the way you want. So amusement park prices in general have gone insane. Carowinds tickets, but yeah, I need to go to I want to go to Carowinds. I like with the heartbeat, they had the blinking light with the water. Yeah, it was like red. It was really, really cool. Last time that my family went to SDC, I told them that Mystic was new, and they said it's not new, and it's been there since they were here in 2012. They're probably thinking of Lost River. It'd be cool if you built Table Rock so you can see it from Wildfire. That would be really cool. Unfortunately, it's on the edge of the map, and I can't really, I can't build that far. I kind of wish we had unlimited building space. Planet Coaster 2, make it happen. Make it to where we can make infinite, you know, amounts. Almost infinite. Like, make it so big that, you know, just so we can create an environment around the park would be really cool. You know, I would love to do that. I would do that. Can work on multiple areas because once I load back in the game, all the stuff's inefficient. I get crazy. Start right now. Start right now. I got you. What helps me is just load the different game for a bit. Exactly. Definitely not a bad idea. Just play something else for a little bit and then come back to it. Currents always say they don't need a water ride because our water park is included, but that sure didn't help when I visited in October. It was 85 and the water park was already closed for the season. Nice. Like Time City. Oh yeah, I remember Time City. Going to Kings Island for the first time tomorrow. If you have been, do you have any tips? I don't know if I have specific tips. I've only been to Kings Island 3 or 4 times. I think about 3 times, actually. Last time I went was in 2020 when Orion opened. I don't know if I really have any tips, but probably if I had to think of anything, try and get to Diamondback and Mystic Timbers quick, because those two seem to get the longest lines. Mystic Timbers always seems to get the longest line, it seems. So if you can get a ride in on it real quick, Orion's line moves really fast, at least the day that I was there. It actually wasn't that bad. But yeah. But tips-wise, I don't know. Did you resize the map using the scenario editor? I did, and I made it as big as I possibly could. I'm in the scenario editor now. So if I was to go to scenario editor, park, the dimensions, it is as large as it will allow us. Except for maybe height. But the height is fine enough. So. Oh, that's the Y direction. So that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I just wish we kind of had more. I wish they would make it so big that would be more than enough space, if that made sense. Because then you could like build Cedar Point, like that would be awesome. I know some people have done like Cedar Point, but they've had to like redo or change some areas just so it kind of fits. So. Zero G Coasters, me and Cal will be at Kings Island 2. Sweets. I definitely want to go back to Kings Island soon. It's about an 8-hour drive for me, so it's not like super short. It's not, could be longer, but it's not super short. Oh, the storms don't get bad. I've only been to KI once. I want to go back so bad. I love Kings Island's great, and obviously if you're in Kings Island, you're only 3 hours away from Cedar Point too. But I guess I haven't really gone back to Cedar Point because I'm kind of waiting for them to add their next big thing until I go back, because Cedar Point is a pretty hefty drive for me. I think it's like 12, 13 hours away from me. I think it's 12. Close to 12. So. But hoping for the best in terms of weather. As long as it doesn't thunder, it should be okay. Yeah, sometimes the best times to go is when it's expected to rain a little bit, because it will scare a lot of people off. I've gone... I think it was my last Cedar Point trip. It actually was raining, and it was raining on and off a little bit, and the rain wouldn't even last that long. And I think the rides only went down, hardly even went down at all, but the lines were so short. It was great. I wouldn't say everything was a walk-on, but pretty close, actually. Pretty close. Live in the area. Are any school districts off tomorrow? I have no clue. I don't know anything about I don't keep track of that, so I have no clue. Hopefully it'll rain for like an hour or two, and then the park will be dead the rest of the day. That's actually a good thing to hope for. If there was unlimited space, I would be recreating Geauga Lake. Ah, that'd be so cool. I don't live in the area, but I don't think any are off. Yeah, I have no clue myself. So I live near Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, and Kings Dominion. But I really do only do day trips because I only want to pay for hotels. Hotels expensive. They can be expensive sometimes. Typically when I go to Universal, I always stay on the Universal sites. It's just so worth it. I love the hotels there. Have you been to Whitewater? Of course I have. Actually, I haven't gone in quite a few years because, I mean, it's nothing special. Typically they have an employee event for Whitewater. They have a thing called Nightwater during the night, and they actually have it open just for employees, and they can actually bring people with them. Like, you can bring a friend with you as well. So, like, for instance, I could bring a friend that doesn't work at SDC with me to the employee event. And I don't think they've actually done it for a while. I can't remember the last. I can't remember if they did it last year. I don't think they did. I live in the Netherlands, and the crappy part about that Nightwater event is it happens during a work day. So if you don't have the day off, you miss about an hour or two of it, and you don't get that much, or don't get that long to experience it, which kind of sucks. But they usually have like free pizza, ice cream, and stuff. It's actually a really cool event, and hopefully they do it this year because it's actually kind of fun just to hang out with all your coworkers and everything. Get some pizza, maybe ride some slides. Wish Cedar Point had pass holder previews tomorrow because I would totally be there. You live in the Netherlands. If something is 30-minute drive here, we already call it far away. Nice. However, I heard that they let a few guests on the other night, so fingers crossed. Hoping for the beast, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, got you. So it's still down, huh? It'd be surprising if it was still down. I figured they'd try and get it done before the park opened. But hopefully it'll be really good after that retrack. I mean, I love the Beast, especially at night, of course. Nashville needs an amusement park. I just gotta say it. There are many great parks driving distance from Nashville, but no anchor home park in the city, right? I know Dollywood's not too far away from Nashville, because I always drive through it. But yeah, it would be nice to have probably a park there. I think it's still quite a few hours away from Dollywood, so 2-3 hour drive to a park is a double day trip. My home park is about 15 minutes down the road, and I happen to work at it, so I've known people that worked at SDC that lived like an hour and a half away, and I'm just like, I don't know how you do that. What ride should they add in Whitewater? They're not gonna get anything. Whitewater's kind of like if the Hershans had a park they don't care about, it's Whitewater. Even though it is the water park, like that's the thing they don't care about. When's the last time they actually got something? I think it was Kapow Plummet, which was back in like 2012. It's been like 10 years since they've actually really added anything. And it's such a small water park, there's not much to it. Okay, should be more open about the Beast retrack. I've heard literally nothing from them about it. They probably don't have an estimated day of when it'll finish, but it would be nice to get updates if they're getting close, I guess. Or maybe they should give a estimate of when they hope to try and get it done. Dollywood's about 4 hours from Nashville, yeah. Beach Bend is closest at 1.3 hours, and Holiday World and Kentucky Kingdom are both about 2.5 hours. Nice. Do you imagine if Whitewater got a gig? It's a water park. A giga slide, maybe. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, but did a road trip through the U.S. in 2018 and was blown away by how huge everything is. Sometimes I was just driving an hour without seeing a single soul on the road. Crazy. A giga water slide. Yeah, exactly. Trying to figure out where is the nearest big theme park, and the nearest park in Codaland. I don't think the park's open yet. Yeah, when does Codaland open? I don't know exactly myself. What can you tell about the new Fire in the Hole rumors? Well, I built it in here, and this is about all you got. This is actually about what it looks like in real life, kind of. Like, I kid you not. Structure kind of looks like this, and it's right behind Fireman's Landing. As for the rumors, the rumor is that it's going to be manufactured by Rocky Mountain Construction, RMC, I guess. That is kind of the top rumor right now. It's either going to be RMC or Gerstlauer, but it sounds like RMC is the more likely right now. And as far as I know, it's going to be pretty close to the original. It's just going to be updated. That's about all I know. Again, I know that's about it. I'd imagine I'd imagine about 3 to 4 months it will probably get announced. So, and I'd imagine it will be open in 2023. Whitewater really can be a better park. They could, but I don't think they have really any interest in putting any money into it. So, when I worked at Six Flags St. Louis, they had something like that where they let all the employees go through their haunted houses. That's kind of cool. Really fun time. See, Silver City doesn't really have like a Halloween event, so we don't get to do any fun, scary stuff. We have Pumpkins in the City, which is cooler than what they had a few years ago when they didn't have anything. But over Georgia is about 4 hours from Nashville as well, and I guess if you really wanted to go to Alabama on your adventure, it's only 2 hours in Nashville for the summer. So, you know, yeah, it definitely could be a good candidate for a park. It's interesting. Hershon still wants to work with RMC. That's kind of why I was surprised. I was really thinking it was going to be Gerstlauer and not RMC, because I don't know if they have a really good relationship with RMC after Lightning Rod, and I know they've had issues with Outlaw Run as well that you may not know about, but yeah, they've had some problems with Outlaw Run too. I mean, it's a prototype, so it's kind of to be expected, but but you know, last October I was talking to some SDC write-ups on Powder Keg who lived in Springfield and said the commute wasn't terrible, but not the best. Yeah, if they live in Springfield, it's probably a good 30 to 45 minutes away. So I forgot SDC had a water park. Kind of. It's not connected, but it's down the road from the park. It's like on the strip. It's on the Branson strip. See, Silver Dollar City is not really on the strip. It's like beyond the strip. It's a few miles away from the strip. It's on the same road as the strip, which is 76, but it's a little further down the road. It's closer to Branson West than Branson, but it's still considered Branson, I guess. And that road actually runs back alongside here. If you ever drive down 76 and heading towards Branson West or going past SDC, you'll be able to see the construction of this new structure. So, but yeah. As Coaster Bob once put it, RMC is really, really good at making track and not really great at anything else. That is actually pretty accurate, yes. I remember when Outlaw Run in its opening year, holy crap, RMC had no clue what they were doing. I can tell you that much. The wiring they used in the boxes of the trains were awful. And they got them fixed the following year, but like they were absolutely dreadful. If there was if anything got wet in it, it would just die pretty much. Like it would have signal issues like crazy, and they just recently fixed the signal issues last season. They did something to where, like, I don't know what they did, but we don't really get signal issues when it starts raining anymore. We used to, but not anymore. They have a guy in a costume and scares people at first, but I don't know. Didn't know, then I'm still scared. Oh yeah, the Scarecrow. I know the person that does that. I remember talking to you last October when you were operating Outlaw Run. Are you still working at the ride? I am. I am still at Outlaw. Wish wish STC had haunted houses. Yep, not gonna happen unless they sell to a different company. They're too much focused on the family-friendly stuff. So it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, unfortunately. But you know, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But you know, I don't know. I think I might head off here in a minute, guys. It's been over 2 hours, and I think I might come back sooner rather than later. That's my hopes. So, but enjoy the rest of my nights. Get ready for tomorrow because I'm actually pretty tired. So, but it's been a great stream. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Sometimes I kind of just want to have streams just chatting with you guys because I feel like I could do a whole stream with that, you know? It gets kind of distracting. I love talking to you guys, but sometimes it gets distracting when I'm trying to work on parks because I want to answer to you guys. I want to talk to you guys, but sometimes it makes it hard to work on stuff. So sometimes I'm just like, man, we could have a whole stream of just talking. If you could operate any ride at SDC, what would it be? Mine would be the Grand Expedition coaster. Interesting selection, but mine would be if you're not. All right, I'll give you 2 answers. Time travel would be the one I want to operate the most because I have done it, and it is one of the funnest rides to operate and / one of the easiest rides to operate when it comes to physicality. Actually, really easy. If I was to work a ride that I haven't worked before, to choose one that I haven't worked on. I've only worked on 3 rides at STC since I've worked there, and that is Time Traveler, Outlaw Run, and Powder Keg. It's the only 3 rides I've actually worked at. I've been at other rides, but I haven't worked on them. I would say probably Wildfire. I guess, because I haven't operated it yet, and I've never operated a B&M, so I think that'd be fun. Because everything else I'm like, eh. Go get some sleep, you deserve it. Thank you. Also, what's your #1 coaster and #1 park? Not sure if I ever asked. I actually answered it earlier, but it is Velocicoaster, and it's also the same park that it's in, which is Islands of Adventure. So my favorite coaster and favorite park are the same. Or my favorite coaster is in my favorite park, which is Islands of Adventure. I just love Islands of Adventure. I could spend so much time at that park. I just love the theming of that park. It's absolutely incredible. Velocicoaster is, I can't believe how good it was. I still can't believe it beat Steel Vengeance for me. I'm still kind of amazed that it surpassed Steel Vengeance for me, at least as of right now. Of course, opinions can change, but man. And then Islands of Adventure as a whole, just the theming, and of course I love the Harry Potter movies and books and such, and I just love the Harry Potter sections are so cool. I absolutely love it. So cool. Lightning Run can only run 1 train in the rain because hey, that sounds very familiar. Outlaw Run can only run 1 train in the rain as well. Because of the same exact reason. It actually has the exact same reason at Outlaw Run why we can't run 2 trains in the rain. Because the second train actually will start sliding on the transfer. It slides right through the drive wheels. We've never bumped before, but anytime we start seeing it slide, we immediately shut down. Like, if it slides even in the slightest, I can't believe it, but it does not throw a fault when it slides forward, and I can't believe that. Islands Adventure is amazing. Can't wait to get on Velocicoaster one day. It's absolutely incredible. The hype it's underhyped. As much as hyped as it has, it exceeded my expectations. It was amazing. The queue line, the ride itself, it's amazing. The line moves so quickly too. I love how they have it set up. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. If I was wanting to That would definitely be one ride I would love to operate, would be Velocicoaster. That'd be so cool. Hershin don't need no more RMC prototypes. Exactly, and that's exactly what Fire in the Hole 2.0 sounds like it's going to be, another RMC prototype. Because I think it's like a powered coaster that they've been working on. So it'll be one of like their first attempt at it, so that's interesting. Lightning Rod has bumped. I think it bumped because it had a rollback and it rolled back into the station. From what I don't know if that's true, but I think it was last season, and it rolled back and it bumped into the train that's in the station. I mean, it was probably like a super light bump that didn't really do anything, but it's not hard to find pictures. But thankfully, Outlaw Run has never bumped, but it could potentially if we ran it in heavy rain with 2 trains. I've seen it get pretty close, but it hasn't been so close to where it's like, holy crap, close. I think the closest I ever saw the trains get at Outlaw Run were probably, it was quite a few feet still, but actually they did a swing launch and it swung too far. Gotcha. That was 3 weeks after I was there. I'm hearing rumors about Dollywood getting a Sally Dark ride soon, and I'm more hyped for that than the new coaster, to be honest. Have they broken ground, or have they gone vertical at all with their new coaster at Dollywood? I'm actually really curious. If they haven't even gone vertical at this point, I don't know if it'll be open for next season. Hershin's pretty good at starting their projects really early. Really, really early. My favorite bolt on Outlaw Run? Bolt? Are you talking like a like on the track here, like a bolt? Wait. Cause I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite bolt that lies on the track. I don't know. How about the one on the wave? How about a bolt in the wave turn? I guess I don't know. I like the wave turn. I like the curves of the wave turn. It looks really nice. There are markers out, and they've started digging for storm drainage in station area, but that's all. Storm drainage pipes are on site, though. Can confirm. Yeah, it's gonna be close. If they are going to get it out for next season, hopefully it'll start moving along soon. Because like I said, usually they start two years early on construction. Usually they kind of prep the land and get some of the other stuff done 2 years before it opens, and then they start going vertical in the second year of construction, because they started on Fire in the Hole 2.0 towards the end of last season is when they started clearing the land and started prepping the area, and they went vertical a few weeks ago. So this will definitely be ready by next season, because they've been rolling along pretty quickly lately. Will they give us Fury or Blazing Fury 2.0? They'll probably see and wait to see the success on this one first. That's a very nicely profiled wave turn. I know. One of the proudest things I've ever did. Not to mention the custom supports here. Because if you noticed in Planet Coaster, the auto-generated supports put the structure on the wrong side. The structure should be on the back side, and that's how it is on Outlaw Run. There's no structure in the front. There's no spots on the front. It's all on the back. So I did custom supports on this to make it look better, and they turned out really, really nice. I like the custom supports on there, and I did custom supports right here too on this turn, because it also had the same issue. The rest of the auto-generated supports actually do very, very well. Like on the lift hill, where these are actually very accurate. Pretty accurate, actually. So those look fine. The barrel roll looks fine, and the 153 actually looks pretty solid too when it comes to the structure. Like, I was actually pretty happy that the only custom supports I had to do on Outlaw was these 2 turns. And then the rest, actually, the structure actually is actually pretty accurate to real life, so. Oh, back here, this is the barnyard. This is where they keep all the animals when they're not up top. So this is the barnyard where they keep, like, the donkeys and the mules and all that stuff. And it's actually literally right next to the wave turn. I don't know if you've ever ridden Outlaw Run, but sometimes when you go by the wave turn, you get this really awful smell. And that's actually what it's from. STCs is kind of like the test grounds for Dollywood. That's why I do think their new coaster is going to be a mock extreme spinning coaster. That's my big prediction. I think it's going to be a mock extreme spinning coaster because Time Traveler was a huge success at Silver Dollar City, so why wouldn't they put it in Dollywood? Plus, there's only one other in existence, and it's not in America, you know, so it'd be easy money for them because obviously the only extreme spinning coaster in America is Time Traveler, so. So basically, yeah, it is a barn. For that one spot. Like Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Yeah, that's like Six Flags' testing ground, basically. Hate when the wave turns in game. Why do they go in the front? Yeah, they should definitely go in the back. Hopefully, maybe they'll fix that in Planet Coaster too, if it happens. Blazing Fury just got iBox track on it, and it's true drops last season. Yeah, it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon, and I think actually RMC did the retrack on that. Dollywood doesn't really have any land near Craftsman Valley to build a second one. All their spare land is over by Wildwood Grove. You have a good point there. I don't think Blazing Fury is going to go anywhere because it's in way better shape than the OG Fire in the Hole, to be honest. So if you kind of want more of an OG Fire in the Hole experience, just ride Blazing Fury. I've been ridden Outlaw over 50 times. And I've never smelled it. It doesn't happen every time. It's very specific times sometimes. I don't know exactly when, but I've been stung by what I think was a wasp, though. Yeah, if you've ever ridden in the fall, there are a lot of wasps that roam at the top of the lift hill. We do get a lot of we do have a wasp issue in the fall. And there's nothing we can really do about it except warn guests that there's wasps on there. Ooh, it was in the ear? That's awful. I would hate that. Ugh. I've never been stung by a wasp. I have to do ride-throughs in the fall, and I've never been stung by a wasp that has been swarming up there. They've tried spraying. They've tried everything they can, but the wasps just come back. There's nothing they can really do about it, so. We started doing some groundwork in Owen's farm on the previous mountain Sidewinder plot last few months, and I heard no rumors about that one, so interesting to say the least. For sure, Wild Eagle just closes when there are wasps. We don't close at all. They don't have us close. We just have to give announcements to let everyone know there are wasps out there. This was actually in the early April, and it was right before the wave turn. Right before the wave turn. Interesting. And early April. So it just must have been a very, very rare event, I guess. Actually. I'm very proud of these custom sports. Like, I still can't get my head over that I built those. Apparently that's what the thing was at the top of Lightning Rod's launch. It's supposed to stop the wasps, and apparently it worked. Yeah, I've actually been to Dollywood in the fall, and I've never experienced any wasps on Lightning Rod. That is a good point. So maybe they should build that at Outlaw Run too. More to Blazing Fury. They found out the water gets trapped in a corner, and they have been redoing the walls. They look really good. Thank you. They do look good. Good job. And I did those a long time ago, too. And they still hold up. They still hold up. So I'm proud of those. All right, guys, my voice is my throat's actually starting to get a little sore from talking so much. So I think I'm gonna head out. As much as I love talking to you guys, I want to keep talking to you guys, but maybe we'll have some just chat streams. That would be fun. If you guys would be interested in those chat streams so we could just talk theme parks and stuff, let me know. That would be fun. And then we can literally just chat, have fun, you know. Maybe I can tell some stories, some fun stories and stuff. Jess, are you hungry or something? But anyways, thank you guys for joining, and make sure you have a great day and be cool tomorrow, guys. And I'll see you guys very, very, very soon. So thanks for joining, and it's been a really fun stream, really good stream. So a lot of you showed up, which is awesome. So I'll see you guys next time, and hopefully we'll be back very, 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 very soon. And oh, you just joined. I'm so sorry, Master Jack. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad when people join when I leave. I always feel bad when that happens. Because I'm like, ah. But alright, guys. Thank you guys so much. And I'll see you guys next time. And thanks. Goodbye.